Hey guys, this is Chris with Die-Cut Designs. This is Agave. Let's go check it out. Cool, so a little bit about Die-Cut Designs. So we're a custom woodworking studio based in Boulder, Colorado, where we build custom boutique unique vans. Most of what we do is build custom vans for clients. So a client will bring us a van and they'll come to us because they want a van that is, again, fully custom, whether it be they have a specific design or aesthetic vision, they are looking for a specific layout, or they want specific amenities in there. We're super flexible in that way. So that's more often than not the way we work, but we also will we'll buy vans and then build them out in our own vision and then list them for sale. So that's what we're doing with this van, Agave, actually, is that we've built this one out and it's now for sale. So about the van itself, this is a 2024 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter on the 144-inch wheelbase, so it's more that standard length Sprinter. It is a diesel engine and it's brand spanking new, so it comes with that 5-year warranty and 100,000 mile warranty too. The name of the van is Agave, and the reason for that is because when I started building this van out, I really wanted it to have sort of a desert theme. I personally love the desert, and I think the desert can be two different things for people. It can be full of adrenaline and adventure, and at the same time it can be like a really peaceful and calming place. So vans obviously let us go adventure, and at the same time I wanted the interior of the van, while being able to handle those adventures, to feel really peaceful, calming, and kind of feel connected to the desert in a certain way. All right, so let's talk about just the aesthetics and the general design for the van. So for the walls and ceilings, went with Roman clay from a company called Portola Paints. It's kind of like this plaster type material, and we've also put some sealer on it as well. It just gives the walls some nice texture. There's also a lot of walnut finishes in the van as well, and then all of the cabinetry is bamboo plywood, and we finished it with Rubio Monocoat, which is most commonly used with fine furniture finishing, but I really like to use it in a van for a number of reasons. It's a plant-based hard wax oil. It's also 0% VOC. So what that means is obviously from a sustainability perspective and a health perspective, it's really nice to work with. But it also does a really good job of protecting the wood. It's easily wipeable, and if for whatever reason you did want to refinish it or repair something, it's really easy to do that. So I like that too. All right, so then behind the walls and the ceiling, we've got some nice insulation. We've got sound deadening material, and then we also use 3M thin slit insulation as well. And to top it off, we've also got a Webasto diesel heater in the van, which is underneath the passenger side seat to keep the van nice and toasty in the winter. So speaking to the form of the design of this van build, every van that I build will be a little bit different from the last. It's something I really enjoy, to freshen things up. And I wanted this van again to feel calm and peaceful like the desert. And what I found is that I really like building curves. They're a nice challenge. And I also think that they are calming in a way. So you'll see a lot of that in this van. You'll see it here with this bench. The motif is also represented in that upper cabinet. There's the arch there. There's also kind of a light fixture over the bed that has that same element to it as well, and then even in the bike tray. So you'll see that kind of pop up in a few different areas, and it's one of those ways that I like to really build a cohesive van, is find a motif and incorporate it into many different aspects of the build. All right, so with all that said, let's dive in. All right, let's talk about the layout real quick. So this is a layout that personally I like a lot, mainly because it just feels pretty open and spacious. So we've got the bed running east to west thanks to some flare space flares. Lets us run a queen size bed and store bikes underneath, which is great if you want to keep your bikes inside or just have a lot of room for gear. We also have a long kitchen counter. I like, again, just me, having a really big open kitchen counter because you can run out of counter space pretty quickly in a van, actually. And then this bench can hold 2 people, the swivel seats can hold 2 people, and so you've got all your people decently close together near the front of the van, which is nice. Then over here, let's dive into this bench a little bit more. This bench was probably one of the more challenging pieces to build for the van. You can see there's this big curve here and these little cubbies. The cubby storage is really nice because there's oftentimes a lot of knickknacks that you kind of have in a van. So just being able to stow them in a place that's really easy to access can be pretty helpful. In terms of the bench cushion, this was a custom cushion made by Allie Olson Sewing Patterns. I work with Allie a lot. She does amazing work. She made this cushion so that it actually has a zipper on it, so you can remove it and wash it if need be. You could steam it, you can do whatever. We were also very intentional with the color. We wanted to make sure we found a color that was as close as possible to an agave plant to kind of, stay on the theme and everything, and just really happy with how that turned out. All right, so kind of coming on the inside of this bench, first off, we got this Lagoon swiveling table. So this is really nice because you can easily get it in the way or out of the way, however you want it. I'm not going to take the full thing apart right now, but it is pretty easy to just pop out if you just want some extra room and you just want it fully out of the way. All right, so over here, we've just got a general soft close drawer. So plenty of room for some extra storage in here. Then back here, we have got a Trillino composting toilet. The main way that a composting toilet works is that liquids go in the front and solids go in the back. That separation is what really helps keep odor away. They're really easy to use, and it's really nice to just have one of these in your van if you're ever in a pinch. Alrighty, so up top, we've got the ceiling. So first off, we've got these like faux walnut beams, which are just, kind of a design touch I wanted to add. In terms of the lighting in this van, we've got 4 zones total. The first zone is the front 4 LED puck lights. The rear zone is the second zone are the rear 4 LED puck lights. The third zone you could just call cabinetry lighting. It's the LED lighting above the upper cab, below the upper cab, and then within the toe kick of the kitchen cabinet as well. And then the fourth zone you could just call accessory lighting. So it's the LED light within this arch here. It is the LED light within this bench cubby. And then it's also this curved light fixture here as well that rounds out that fourth zone of LED lighting. Additionally, on the ceiling, we've got good ventilation options. So in the front, we've got the classic 12 volt max air fan, which can bring air in and also bring air out. And then in the back here, we've got a Dometic Mini Hecky skylight, which is really nice. You can kind of stargaze at night. You can pop it open a little bit. You can also pop it open a lot. And then it has a built-in bug screen and shade as well. So, between the 2 windows that open up in the back, the skylight and the fan, you get really nice ventilation in this van. The kitchen. Let's start up top. We've got this custom walnut countertop. Got some really nice walnut boards for this. And so had to turn it into a nice little countertop for the van. Like I said, I really like having a big open countertop. Again, there's kind of that motif within the build itself. It also overhangs a little bit so that the driver's seat can kind of utilize the end of the countertop a little bit. Is a little bit of a workstation in a way. Another thing is that you'll notice there's no stove. And that's kind of on purpose. I personally like to use induction cooktops, and I find that it's nice to just have one in a drawer that you can pull out. There's an outlet here so that you can bring out your induction cooktop, use it, put it away when you're not using it. And at the same time, if you're at a campsite and there's a table or you have your own table, if you want to cook outside, which when we're camping, it's pretty nice to be able to cook outside. It's really nice to be able to have a cooktop that you can actually physically bring outside, especially in the summer, so that you're not heating up your whole van when you're cooking. But we've got a lot of storage in here, lots of big open drawers, soft close drawer slides, and then latches as well so that they click into place. We've got this Dometic NRX 60-liter fridge. It also has, as advertised, a removable freezer. It looks small, but you'd be surprised actually how much you can fit inside these things. Over here, we've got a nice big open sink. So a little bit about the water system here. We've got 33 gallons of fresh water on board. That's actually below the passenger side wheel well, or on top of the passenger side wheel well, I should say. So big sink. We've also got hot water in this van. So it's a 110 volt hot water heater, 2.5 gallons total, which you can find within this cabinet. So we've got hot water running to this faucet, also out the back for kind of an outdoor shower situation. We've also got a 5-gallon gray water tank with the option to divert the gray water straight through the floor of the van as well. And then there's also a filter, a water filter for the water coming out of the faucet too. Over here, we got a good old upper cabinet. So again, these cabinets keep with that motif with the bench, that curve, which had kerfs and was steam bent as well. And then for the doors, I want to do something a little bit different and added some rattan webbing. It's really nice to have storage that goes along the length of the driver's side of the van. Storage, you always want more than you have basically in a van. So the more you can get, the better it is. So all of these open up with struts, and then we've also got some nice latches on them so they stay closed and you don't lose any of your stuff. We've got a queen size mattress within this van, and that's thanks to these two flare space flares on either side of me. They let you run a queen size bed in here. We've also got two windows, one on both sides. These are C.R. Lawrence bunk slider windows. And again, with the fan going, you can get a really nice draft in here as well. And then on the inside of both of these flares, we've got two 12-volt USB plugs. So it's really nice to just have a really big, open, comfortable bed in a van. All right, so over here, we've kind of got like the main controls in the van. Here are just the 4 zones of lighting on dimmer switches. Here we've got the main screen for the electrical system, which is an EcoFlow 5 kilowatt hour power system. 5 kilowatt hour being kind of equivalent to 400 amp hours of battery. So a decent bit in this van. You can monitor the batteries. The battery has a built-in warmer as well to keep it warm in those colder months. In terms of input up here, there's 3 ways that we can charge this van. First of all, you can charge from the alternator when you're driving, which is really nice, and you can kind of adjust how much power you want to pull from your alternator as well. We can also charge from solar. So up on the roof, first of all, there's an Unaka Gearco roof rack up on the top of the van with a ladder, and there's 400 watts of solar up there. So we can also charge the van, of course, with solar, and then we can also charge the van with shore power as well. So there's a few different ways that you can keep your batteries topped off. And then in terms of output, AC power and DC power. So AC power are all your outlets. There are 4 different outlets in this van. And then DC power, what's really nice, particularly with the EcoFlow system, is that the first 6 circuits you can actually control right from this screen, and you can toggle on and off, which is pretty convenient. And then there's actually an EcoFlow app as well, so you can control a lot of these settings and control your electrical system right from the app as well. All right, so coming to the back of the van, we've got the garage. It's got a lot of fun stuff. It's got electrical, storage, and water, so let's check it out. Underneath the bed on the driver's side, This is where the electrical system is housed. Here we've got our little Agave and then our Saguaro here. These may be decorative, but they're also functional too. They let the electrical system breathe, which is really important so that they don't overheat. We've also got some lighting in the garage. We've got double switches, so there's a switch in the front, there's a switch in the back, which is really nice to be able to control the lights whether you're inside the van or outside the van. And then over here, pretty straightforward, but this is the circuit board for the EcoFlow system. So we've got our AC power here and our DC power over here. All right, so with this being the garage area, there's a lot of storage. So there are 3 cubbies back here. We've got a really big one back in there on the driver's side, 2 medium-sized cubbies on the passenger side. And then we've got this big 60-inch heavy-duty drawer that locks as well. I think it's rated for about 500 pounds. If you're a bike person, it can be nice to store a bunch of bikes in here. You can fit 3 bikes. You might be able to fit 4. I just don't own 4 bikes, which is such a shame. But yeah, I couldn't test it myself, but you might be able to. And even if you don't have bikes, you can still store a ton of gear here, and it's really nice to just be able to slide it all out. And then additionally as well, for these rear door panels, I put these in from Van Essential. Again, it's really nice to have storage for little accessories. You know, if you've got bike tools or little things like that for camping, you can store it all in here. Last but not least, we've got the water system in this cabinet. So we've got 33 gallons of fresh water, which you can fill up from here. We've also got that hot water heater as well. So that runs back here. So you've got hot and cold, you can take an outdoor shower. You can also, you know, spray stuff down. So we've got that. This here, we've got a little gauge to tell us how much water is in the water tank. And then this button here turns on the tank heating pad, which is nice to just keep the water tank warm in the winter so it doesn't freeze. We've also got this little door that lets us access the water system. The water pump is up here and accessible. And then down here, this is just a valve so that you can easily drain out the water tank. All right, everybody, that just about wraps up this tour of Agave. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this van is available for sale, so check the link in the description to learn more. I'll see you out on the road.